I don't know what this is meant to symbolize. Red Sonja is here, the movie, which has been rewritten half a dozen times. It's removed any motivation from the character, and instead of just making a movie for the male gaze, decided to make it an allegory for more existential questions, such as the survival of the species in the face of climate change. This is a movie about a woman alone in the world trying to survive in a very crazy environment. And it's exactly what you'd expect at 57% critics and 59% audience score. Not only is it rare when critics and the audience agrees, but actually, we have very similar numbers of ratings between the two of them. It's a solid pilot episode, but unfortunately it's a movie. It's almost possible to feel affection for this dud of a film. Almost. In the end, Red Sonja proves to be the worst kind of adaptation, one that is neither particularly faithful nor entertaining in a general sense. It fails to justify itself, tell a compelling story, or make us care about the characters. Well, maybe not entirely, eh?
I'm sure the swamp would enjoy that.
No, this movie is as absurd as it is cheap. And while the director is a living experiment of whether men or women make better movies,
I heard you attacked the Emperor's fort in the Hyrcanian forest.
in this regard it is an ideological trek through a nonsense world that isn't very well explained. And you know me. That means there was really only one thing I could do. Let's get stuck in. Red Sonja starts as it means to go on.
In a time before history.
Don't think you know how time works, love. Everything before history is still history, but never mind. She says, though, there was a land of Hyrcanians. It was about beauty and nature. And despite having a book that contains technology that even we don't have access to, they still live like that. Technology evil, live with the trees! That is the message of the movie. Well, one of them. There was a barbarian king, though, that rose up and started conquering. There's our main player character. Don't worry, she grows up. She doesn't start beating up adult men at 7. Although, given this movie, they would if they could. Everyone's happy, though, until the barbarian king turns up. Now, this place does have walls, no guards on them, and it does have a gate. Although, as you can see, this gate isn't locked in any way, shape, or form. It's just 2 separated wooden boards, which is why you can see down the middle of it. Magically, though, it appears, and it's still not very strong. That's right, a single guy hitting it with his horse broke it. What a meanie. We jump forward then to Sonia.
We're heading west today.
She's sleeping with her horse like the average Pol Twitch streamer. She makes maps, and by map, I mean she just puts trees all over the place as she's living in a forest. By the way, she's been doing this her entire life, and she's only explored that.
I feel today's the day.
She is very excited, and you can see why. She's murdered a bunny rabbit. This actually ties into her motivation for the movie. No, seriously.
Bless your sacrifice.
I don't think it had much choice, love. You seem to have strangled it to death.
Thank you, Forrest.
Thank the rabbit. At that moment, though, she sees a beehive, and you have to see this to believe it. I don't know why we rendered the bees at 4 FPS, but we did. That happens a few times. There'll be graphics rendered at a lower frame rate than the camera is shooting, and it's very obvious. But she murders rabbits, she steals from bees, but at least her clothing doesn't have creases in it because the perfect ironing board is always there. The director said she had athletes and models that perfectly look like Red Sonja from the comics. For some reason, we didn't use those assets, I don't know why. After that, though, she then goes on to visit a tree which is supposed to symbolize her god, and she honors her god by soiling the holy waters around her.
Your odor would fell skunk.
Not even just her. I don't know what this is meant to symbolize. I think it's for the Twilight fans. Get a room. Then, though, the fantasy rhinos turn up. She hears men hunting them, hides from the men. And let's be honest, if you're going to aim this movie at the male gaze, now was the perfect opportunity.
Don't let them get away! Let's wait somebody!
Only to later follow them and find the rhinos with all their bone cut off all the way down their heads. And it is very gory. I'm pretty sure I can't show you it, it's that gory. We get a scene where she listens to its heartbeat as it stops. We're supposed to think of all of this as very sad and they're 100% evil, despite the fact she's been strangling rabbits at the start of the movie.
And grant me the power to find those who did this.
She does go begging to her god a lot just for free stuff. But when you see what she's capable of later in the movie, she gets it. This is 100% the hero's journey, where nothing is earned. There's never any reason for why they're just amazing. No, it's just about discovering that actually you were better than those menfolk all along. With that, Red Sonja starts tracking the villains through the forest with her top drawer forestry skills. Look, soil. No one's ever been so amazed by finding soil on the floor of a forest. So following the men, she finds an entire village that's been destroyed. I'm daughter to a murdered mother. I've got no kids because I don't like the blokes, and I shall have my vengeance with these arms or the next. And before I go any further, I just want to point, she doesn't know how to fight. From the first scene to now, she just ran out of that village and went into the forest and never met another human. This isn't a trained warrior, and she doesn't have the motivation from the comics that she should have had in this movie. We get some pointless back and forth with the horse. Stay here, I'm coming with you. Stay here, I don't know why. They really want to big up this horse, even though it's entirely irrelevant to the plot.
You can't come. You stay here. Are your ears still filled with water?
That's what you're asking it, not horse. How do you understand English? Now, she's hunted them down to their walled fortress and somehow thinks that she's going to single-handedly take vengeance on the village in a walled fortress when she has no combat skills. Maybe she'd be good at archery because she's been hunting things in the forest. Okay, what about sword fighting, grappling? What about getting punched in the face? So she sneaks nearby and just starts watching them for some reason. And unlike her home village, these people are actually smart enough to put men on the walls. They've also been capturing scorpions and other monsters that they put in wooden boxes. Oh no, you can't put a scorpion in a box. You have a horse that you ride around on. You strangled a bunny rabbit. Even if her logic is, well, I ate it, they might be eating scorpion. She doesn't know. I love that she's going to go and fight all of them over a scorpion. There's like 50 blokes there. The only reason she's not dead this instant is a horn blowing. Kind of ironic because she's never blown a horn before. Not met any humans in the forest. The horn, though, signifies a tank appearing with a weird monkey face man. If I say he's got a face like a baboon's arse, not an insult, he's meant to. Now, this is literally an armored personnel carrier. He got it out of that magic book that I talked about that had all the technology in it. You know, the one that the people in the medieval village weren't using. If they made their gate out of that, a horse wouldn't have ridden through it. What was that meant to be? Yeah!
Kneel before
Zods!
Emperor! Down on your knees!
Now, this is the guy you may know him from Umbrella Academy, but I know him from Misfits.
Are you mentally deficient?
If I was mentally deficient, I would have missed.
I can't see him as anything else, largely because he plays the same character in everything. But he cares about progress. Progress first, feast later. He's all about the technology, advancing his empire, conquering the world. He's using his machines to destroy the entire forest, not just because he needs the wood and burning stuff, but because he's looking for something. And obviously, behind him follows his girl boss, the main bodyguard. I mean, you could understand if he was banging her, but he's not even doing that. He's just got an inferior bodyguard. I can protect him best with half the strength. He also loves his monsters, one especially.
I am getting a cyclops now. Isn't that right, Minister Coulter?
I had to tell you that because it comes up later in the story. He didn't need to tell you that. It's it should have been cut. Quite a bit of this movie probably should have been cut. That way you would have had more money for the rest of it. Now, I should point out, I do like the aesthetics of this movie. It has very much a sort of Xena, Hercules, The Outpost level of budget fantasy. It's a look where it's obviously cheap, but you also know it's the best they could do with the money. Rather than a $300 million movie where you don't know where it's gone, I think this actually looks good for the budget that they had, especially if you were brought up on Xena and everything. There's an air of nostalgia to the sort of style. Now, the issue with the villain is he just wants to advance society with technology, and he wants to conquer people who are just lesser than his empire. This happened all through history, and so they can't really make an argument against it. They have to turn him into a mustache-twirling villain instead, which, again, I see him as the character from Misfits, so to me, it works. It's like you were once a king.
Royalty. Show some dignity in defeat.
He's kind of friendly to everyone, but would also annihilate you if you looked at him weird. Oh, we once met when I was a slave boy.
They pouring ale in the service of King Ansius.
Oh, yes, I remember you. I always knew you'd achieve greatness.
Really? Because I recall how you spat on me.
Whoops. I really shouldn't have been such an arse, should I? Find out the thing he's looking for is the other half of the book of secrets that he's got. He wants to get more technology than he already has. As you can't explore these lands, they're full of monsters. Nobody can live there. It's too dangerous. Red Sonja's been living there. She's been living there since she was a child. There's a whole thing about only the gods decide who go through the forest, and even you with your technology cannot defeat gods.
I will defeat your gods. Do you want to know how?
Well, it's because I've got a blonde woman here who's invincible. She can defeat any man. It's the clunge.
It's knowledge.
Oh, okay, Blondie, you can go away. It's my IQ, actually. So he just starts preaching at a barbarian about technology and intellect. It's knowledge, it's science. Oh, I've defeated you with tech. I don't know why he's preaching at this bloke. By this point, the bloke is probably begging to be thrown off a roof. Is this like, have any of your gods contact technology? No, they haven't. And so we just get...
No, why? Why? Because your gods are not real.
This guy came from the same village as Red Sonja. They were the people that worshipped the gods and had the book of technology, which he's using to conquer the earth. He knows the gods and technology are one and the same. That's why he's looking for the tribe, so he can get the other half of the book from them, because he knows where the book came from that he's using. And he's like, your gods are meaningless, then why are you after them for the book? We did not put a lot of thought into this script.
You're kind of relics from the past, and I am the future.
I mean, he puts every ounce of enthusiasm into his acting in this movie. It's just this villain isn't complex enough to be worthy of the acting he's put into it. It's just like, knowledge! And then he gets assassinated in the most pathetic way possible.
Karlach,
What is your judgment?
he's of no use to me.
Mustache-twirling villain. So after watching the king get murdered, she sees two blokes walking along and just walks out from hiding in the middle of the fortress, covered in hundreds of guards.
Whores are supposed to be in that tent.
I knew he was dead at that moment, but was he wrong?
You look as if you clean up good.
Unfortunately, he was the one that had something shoved inside him. Followed by the next guy. Now, why neither of these guys shouted out at all the people around, I don't know. But it doesn't matter, because as she's breaking the locks, she gets caught by Blondie.
You dare to take what Dragon owns.
You definitely would have had your neck cut there. You have to pull out your dagger from across yourself to deflect that. It's like, okay. Start asking, where's your tribe? Where's your home? Where does your granddad live?
No one can survive the Harcanian forest, everyone knows that.
Well, apparently, if you're just a young girl, your fallopian tubes will carry you through. We find out she has hallucinations and voices that she talks to.
Why are you talking to the air? Are you mad?
That's probably not the best option, is it? Somebody wants to kill you and you're like, are you a nutcase?
Mad.
It's not really de-escalation. You're a freaking lunatic.
Mind your insolence.
I told her it was a bad idea. Either way, they fight, one with a sword, one with a little hatchet thing. And Red Sonja is just utterly outclassed. I can only assume Blondie has 3 fallopian tubes. As for the combat in this movie, it's okay. You have absolutely no idea what's going on because they cut so often as none of the people can fight. But at least they disguise how incompetent they are well, to the best of their ability. I'm gonna tap your knee and you're gonna fall over. The fight itself is just to prove that Red Sonja is utterly outclassed, and then, even though that's visible, they have to hammer it home.
You looked as if you'll be better at this. I thought I would be too.
Why? Is it just... She's never used a sword before. She's never fought a human. It's like, well, everything else just comes to me magically. I'm always perfect at everything. I thought I'd just know how to sword fight.
But to be fair, I'm better with a knife. That much is obvious.
How? You haven't seen her use a knife. How does she know she's better at knife fighting? She hasn't fought with them either. Wait, we're not even fighting with a knife, we're now grappling. And as you can see, other people have noticed. Now, why they didn't notice when they were fighting in this area, I don't know. Catfighting tends to draw a bit of a crowd. They're like, oh, foxy boxing. So then everyone gets distracted. They're like, tear her clothes off. Roll round in the mud. As you can see, attracting quite the crowd. My favourite thing, entire fortress now knows there. All the guards, no one is gonna bother stopping the women fighting. Sonia even manages to get her in a chokehold. She wins the fight. Remember that bit for later. But if this isn't winning a fight, I don't know what is. Come on! I can see why he likes them. Quick, someone fetch a pole. Then, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, the horse arrives. He says, come to save me.
Can't I help her?
Oh look, it's the baboon's arse.
Stay down.
What? Why did you have to tell him the instruction if you knock him out anyway? We teleport into the command tent. She can barely see, everything's blurry, and we just start discussing how incompetent she is.
You say she has no fighting skills.
None of worth.
I mean, none of worth. She kicked your pissing ass. Yeah, she has no idea how to handle a sword. She still kicked your ass when you had one, though.
Why did Karlak have to save you then?
Exactly. How did you lose if you can't fight? We're never going to answer this question. We found a plot hole, so we said it in the story, and then that's enough. They start sticking a knife in her wounds, trying to get her to talk. They find her map and like, oh, it's very crude, but actually this could be of use. It maps out the forest. It's like, yes, it shows you that the forest has trees in it. Oh, well done, Sonia. You've really contributed there.
This might be very useful to me.
I don't know how. I didn't know there are trees here. But if you thought we hadn't girl bossed close enough to the sun yet, well, have I got the thing for you.
This might be very useful to me.
We're gonna break our restraints through sheer Karening. A bloke's never gonna say that to me.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm fine, darling. Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine, darling. He really makes a really scary villain.
I like this one. Very, very feisty, eh?
He can somehow double her strength for no reason whatsoever. Seeing that she can fight even though she can't fight, and she can break ropes even though she has no muscles, he sends her to the arena. Over at the city now with magic glowing lights for no reason. At least that one's rendered at the correct frame rate. She sees a horse go by with a rag on its face and decides she's got no fighting skills whatsoever. What does that say about the blokes? You know, the men in armor. And when I say armor, that would be the armor she just elbowed. And somehow he's like, oh, that really hurt through my full plate. I did like that bit. She is very poor at picking her battles, though. She's in the middle of a fortress again, surrounded by guards, and thinks, I'm definitely going to be able to rescue my horse. And about as well as you'd expect. Oh, also, this actress, they are fake teeth, just so we're all aware. She's not English.
You must really like that horse.
Yes, you must have ADR'd those lines, because there's no way you said it like, to talk when you like this, actually. I can understand why she struggled. Over in the barbarian pits, the other gladiators are treating her for her injuries.
I am not your mother.
That was a jump scare. Oh, you're an old hag. I don't know why she got so annoyed. I'm not your mother. I've got 16 of my own, ungrateful brat. I do wonder, this is a gladiator pit. How is she alive in it? Is it just that none of the animals they're meant to fight want to go near her face? So Red Sonja decides to strangle the medic that just saved her life. Obviously, she could just steal the dagger off this bloke. He's a man. It's not as if he'd be able to fight. Just like, look around. There's nowhere to escape. I will kill this woman. And then, he might be the most based man alive. No, sorry, that's already happened.
It's the pear of anguish. It was used on women who had relations with the devil.
Houston, I think we found the most based man alive.
Keep away.
Why?
Because I'll slit her throat.
Go ahead. No one here cares.
No one here cares either, to be honest. You can even see she's like, oh, men. But it continues. It's like, look, if you just want to die, you can wait. You're going to have a fight in a few days. You won't survive that anyway. But looking around and realizing that no one's on her side and she's really chosen the wrong hostage. There's even a female baboon's arse here. She eventually gives in to them and gets judged.
She's nothing.
Rather accurately. I mean, look at her. There's no way she's winning any fights.
You don't look like much either.
So this woman who is about 1.5 feet shorter than him. Sorry, Matt.
Think I give a hook about your little pecker and your worthless opinions.
Is he supposed to care about you, love? Look at the height and size difference. Now, I can understand how you might be dangerous in the same way that Jaws was from James Bond, but apart from that...
She's insulting my manhood.
She's a good judge of character.
There's a lot of this. We girl boss so close to the sun, not a single one knows when to shut their mouth. It's like, no, we can all fight them on equal terms. There's a lot of squaring up of really insignificant people next to big hulking bloke, even though they're together, by the way. Something that this guy is questioning. It's like, why on earth are you even with him? So she comes out with what can only be considered Shakespearean in its quality.
I prefer an uncut gem rather than a polished jewel with no personality.
I don't know whether she's talking about personality or still on the topic of their manhood. No, I just want an uncut one. Yeah. Keep the little jacket on. Back with the king, he's talking about how he's after the other half of the book in the forest. Guy's like, why do you even want it? You've already got the entire known world under your command. And he thinks the book's a prophecy, that if you unlock the knowledge, you'll hold the world in your hands. I'm kind of with him so far. He found a book in an ancient language of technology, which he deciphered, and then used that technology to conquer the world. What's the prophecy, though? The prophecy just goes, if you've got technology, you can rule. Well, and?
And this is my story.
It's not a story, though. It's just a load of technology. This is like reading a TV manual and going, HDMI, 4K 60 FPS. That's the future of my life. It doesn't make any sense.
This is my story, and yet without the other half. Oh, I don't have an ending.
It's a technology manual. It doesn't have an ending. You already rule the entire world. What do you think more tech is going to give you?
I don't have an ending. I need an ending, but I don't.
I think he means I need an ending, but I don't have one. But that wasn't in the script. I need an ending. I don't. Do you not need an ending? No, I do. I just don't have an ending. Why didn't you say that then? In the mines, everyone's eating and Sonia is climbing up a wall. Obviously, this is an opportunity to insult the men again.
How's she doing? Not bad, farther than I ever got.
Not as far as I did, though.
Oh, put it back in your pants, love. Farther than I did, yes, but I'm superior to you, even though I'm weak and feeble. And she's halfway up a cliff face.
I heard you attacked the Emperor's fort in the Hyrcanian forest.
That's a rather strange voice you've got there. And they say no one's ever made it to the top. And
He's past my mark.
oh, the only thing that can beat a clunge is a minge. Kind of want that on a t-shirt. Also, one of the advantages of this wall, which is not meant to make you escape, is all the nice, really set handholds in it that they've put in. Like, look, that is just a climbing wall. With that, though, she manages to climb all the way to the top, of which there are guards up there.
What does she think will happen if she makes it?
Climbs out, and then... Suppose they're only men after all. What did I think was going to happen? She just killed the odd one. Basically a bunny rabbit to her.
Imagine if she actually.
Now she's in... What was that guy doing?
Imagine if she
This guy has never used a net before. You're supposed to throw it out so it spreads. You're not meant to whip them with it.
actually knew what.
That'll teach you.
If you want freedom so badly, all you have to do is win.
Yeah, like if you want to become a woman, you just have to choose to be.
Like Lady Anicia.
Lady Anicia's one as well.
The mad one who talks to herself.
That would explain the fighting skills. But while they're talking about the blonde-haired girl, she says the most stupid thing.
I fought her already. I lost. Obviously, I lost.
What? Through the magic of camera work and editing, we can see what happened. But if this isn't winning a fight, I don't know what is. That's losing, is it? Getting someone in a chokehold they can't escape from and they're about to die.
But when we fight again, I will be better prepared.
You didn't lose the first time, you silly bid. Over in the blonde's chambers, and the Emperor's here. She's trying to seduce him. I want to be your Empress. Now get into bed with me. Very aggressive.
We've never shared a bed.
It might be because you're batshit crazy. You see ghosts and hear voices about how you should kill people. And you're like, yeah, why don't you spend the night with me? Unconscious, with no armor on. Actually, darling, I think I'd give that one a miss, love. He's an emperor. He can have his pick. He doesn't have to choose a nutter. I could do better than you, love. He's like, I will find a cure, and then once you're cured, you can be empress. Once you've found your marbles, only then will I marry you. He's found the perfect excuse for it to never happen.
But for tonight...
Can we? No. Down, girl. Back in the pits, they're training for their upcoming fight, and this guy takes a liking to Sonia.
Call me Osin, the Untouched.
Untouched. Why?
Well, maybe there was a training accident, he had his bits cut off.
Because no one has ever touched me with a blade.
Oh, had to specify with the blade there. This is very unusual for a Hollywood movie. Normally it's blades they'd be after.
Never.
Not since my imprisonment here.
Outside, I had blades all the time, but when I went to prison, I was like, no, I'm not holding anyone's pocket.
But perhaps you could be the first one to touch me and win the prize.
And what prize is that?
Me.
No wonder no one's touched him. No one's ever tried. You can win the booby prize. Not in a good way.
You.
Can't you see? Prince Osin is fine.
I told you he was dodging swords. If that's what's after him, no wonder he was like, no, stop it. No one's touching me with anything. If that's his motivation, I'm surprised he didn't manage to climb out that hole in the ceiling. He wouldn't see me for dust.
A tasty morsel.
He is a royal feast.
You can always tell the really attractive men when they have to constantly tell you he is. It's like, look, even the men are after him.
He's a preening fool with more look than skill.
No one insults the pretty boy without dying to a woman. We all know what kind of movie this is. That is gonna happen. So they start talking about the fights. You might fight wolves, you might fight monsters, you might fight each other. But no one here's my enemy, and no one here's your friend.
Make none.
Have no attachments. Life is cheap.
I know modern Hollywood doesn't believe it, but it does actually matter who you have saying that line.
So we fight for what?
I don't know. In fact, I don't know what your motivation is at all. In the comics, she gets taken by a bloke and assaulted. That's a motivation that everybody can understand, and you know why they're gonna get revenge on that guy. So she goes to a god, gets fighting powers, and then takes vengeance. That's a good motivation. In this, the director's like, no, I don't want that for her. And so, they've decided to give her no motivation. There's just a big gaping hole where a gaping hole should have been. She does make the most glorious facial expressions, though, you've got to admit. In fact, so far in the story, the motivation seems to be, you hurt an animal, I decided to attack a fortress like an idiot, and then got captured like an idiot. Over then, to the arena. Everyone's getting all their equipment. The more impressive fighters already have pre-arranged kits. And if you want to know the grand total of this guy's love story, it's...
Measure for love.
Well, I'm convinced. I like that he's not cut. And then Sonia tries to get her equipment.
I want that and those.
Great. How do you know? She was a 5-year-old, got ejected into a forest, and now she knows what weapon she can use. She's never used weapons before.
You can have this,
Based.
this,
Based.
these.
Based economy.
And that protects.
Nothing. The crowd will love it.
Now, we do have a problem with even that. This is the ultimate safe horny. There are some people that like put it on, it's like, why are you even bothering, love? But also, these are massively oversized to the point where, what? This would have made sense if you had a different actress that actually looked like the comic books. But as it is, When it's 100% the shape of the material, what's the point? The crowd, though, love it. Especially her. I'm gonna be a gladiatrix. Even the king's like, wait, what? I didn't know we were doing this with our gladiators.
They ever make you wear this? I would have cut the balls from any man who tried to make me.
Yeah, but did they ever try to make you wear this? Enough about your fantasies about what you would have done in a parallel dimension. Put on the pissing costume, love. Who do you think the movie's for? But she's like, just focus on that gate and whatever's gonna come out of it. Might be 10 men trying to reclaim the material.
I have a wooden sword. You best hope it's not a giant beaver then.
To be honest, seeing a couple of beavers would have improved the movie.
Why didn't they ever dress you up?
If they put you in that, love, I might have been able to put up with you being a complete lunatic. But he stands up and says, you need to fight each other.
One of us dies, or we both die.
And that'd just be a waste. We haven't even got to see a beaver yet. So she squares up, is like, look, I've only known you 5 minutes. I don't care about fighting you at all. About 3 minutes ago, she said, we're not your friends, don't make any bonds. And there's been no friendly conversation, no bonding between the group at all. I think she only arrived yesterday, and we're supposed to think that she cares. This is a woman that strangled a bunny rabbit.
By the goddess, I will not fight you.
She should have just attacked her, dropped her guard, stab. But instead, she decides to face off against the king, and for some reason, I don't know what her plan is. I don't know.
I will not fight her for your entertainment.
No, you seem to have it backwards, love. You are going to fight her for his entertainment.
But I will fight you.
That's not even an option. At this point, it's just entitlement.
Or are you a coward? Or
Are you a coward? Are you?
You just can't take someone of this build seriously, calling a man a coward. It doesn't work. You can be like, look, yes, he's not a big bulky bloke. He's not muscular at all. But it doesn't matter, because neither is she. It is important that people look like the character, because the character was designed that way for a reason.
are you a coward?
No one's scared of you. No one has ever been scared of you. You haven't intimidated a single man in your entire life at any point in history. Like, you're a coward! At least get someone that could have intimidated him. That is the face of a man who does not give a fuck. It's like, why is this gnat moaning at me? Begone, peasants!
I'm sure this mob would enjoy that.
Yeah! You can fight the king or show us your beaver. Those are the only options. It is interesting that out of this crowd of thousands of people, they've shown us the same people they showed us before. This woman's still excited. She has no idea what's happening. She's just happy to be involved. So he starts laughing. She gets all smug as see, tubes. Obviously, I would impress my superiors just through sheer ignorance. And he goes to shoot her. Now, for some reason, she's like, yeah, I wanted to escape 5 minutes ago, but now I'm more than happy to be shot for no reason whatsoever and achieve absolutely nothing. What a hero.
This one's touched by madness.
Yeah, I thought that was the blonde. They do say gingers have no soul, though, don't they? Whoops, they've shot the friend. Oh no! If it isn't the consequences of my actions. So he loses it as his girl's just got shot in the neck because of the sheer stubbornness of a random bint. And despite it going, oh, I'm so sorry, Pedro. Is your name Pedro Pascal? He then decides to send guards in rather than just shooting her in the neck as well. It's also worth pointing out that before, she had blood all over her face, which is why I couldn't show it. But thankfully in this scene, someone's bathed her in the 3 seconds that have happened in the show. So Red Sonja cuts through all of these like a knife through butter. But he's like, whoa, look at the fighting skills on that. If only she looked like the comics, this could be awesome. Wait, hang on. Is Zack Snyder in the building? No, you know it's not Zack, because she stabbed in slow motion. She didn't go from slow motion to hyper super duper slow motion. Oh, and it's just cut back to her. The blood has now reappeared on her face that got washed off a few seconds ago. So they're like, relax, relax. No, don't go up to him. You've just got his wife killed. Maybe now's not the time to go up and, you know, socialize.
Her last thoughts were for you.
Look, I know you've got your wife killed, but I did at least get her necklace. I did steal that off her corpse. And then, as if she hasn't caused enough trouble for this group of people, we had to dub singing over her voice. Yeah, I'd be looking like that if I had to put up with this as well. Oh god, we got another one. The breeding. Over now to the Emperor's labs, and for some reason, he's keeping her horse there. And it's like, well, if we ever have a Twitch streamer over to visit, we've got some entertainment for him. Even they need a bit of eye candy in the movie. We see some kind of weird beetle creature that they can magically mind control. And again, we have to make out that, oh, he's just mustache twirling evil. Everyone tells him, no, don't use the control collar.
No, my lord, please don't do that.
Just puts him in pain for no reason whatsoever. Because he's the villain, you see. I really miss the time in movies where the villain would be evil because of their ideas and what they believed. Not just, oh look, he hurts people for no reason whatsoever. That means he's a bad guy. No, he likes technology. Show us why the technology itself is bad. When obviously really the message should be technology isn't bad, it's how you use it. This movie doesn't get to that. It's just technology bad. That's why the nature people didn't use it even though they had mastered it. No, they realized they needed to live in a forest and starve to death and stuff. Now, it turns out, for some reason, they can't use them on humans yet, which is another reason why I want the second half of the book, because that'll definitely have the secret to it.
We have made
a magic glowing orb of energy that powers the entire city.
powering the whole city.
I don't know how it's transporting it across the city. Is this like electricity that goes across cables? Or is it just magic? Back in the pit, Sonia finds out this guy is one of her people. Or, well, she was one of the outcasts, but he's one of the actual people. It's actually funny because he's like...
And you are clearly not Arcanian.
Like, oh, because I thought she was Arcanian. I thought that's how she knew the Song of the People.
By the goddess, you are one of the orphans from the forest.
So is she Arcanian or not? Is that, well, I can tell by looking at you, you're not Arcanian. Oh, wait, you are. What? He makes it sound like being English, where you can just obviously tell by looking at someone whether they are English or not. But it's like, no, I didn't know that you were English in a forest. Like someone's going to Robin Hood, you're not English. Oh wait, you're one of those forest English. This is literally can't see the people for the trees. Now, one of my favorite things in a movie is redundant information. Like you'll see a car crash into a wall and they go, he crashed. Well,
It was said that none of you survived.
I survived.
well, duh. Either that or I'm a zombie corpse just rotting around in front of you. It's like, well, actually, you know how we're a technologically advanced people? I'm an AI robot version of Red Sonja. That's how I have super strength and no fighting skills.
I survived. I survived.
Go on now, go. Walk out the door.
Frank!
I'll survive. I will survive.
But she tells him they came, they destroyed her town. She ran off into the forest with a load of kids who all one by one got taken, and she just learnt the ways of the forest. This forest that no one can survive in, she magically learned how to survive in it. Sword fighting, even though she'd never sword fought before. How to make all of her clothing. Equipment for the horse. How to hunt. I tell you, she was a very smart 7-year-old. After finding out that her people are in the forest though, and she just was wandering around in circles and couldn't find them, the Emperor calls on her. She gets changed into an outfit that people might actually want to see, and used as eye candy at a feast. You'd think the other women at this party would get offended, but no.
Why is that barbarian here?
Well, except one of them. Interestingly, he gives a similar answer.
I thought she'd add a splash of colour.
Yes. He prefers an uncut rock to a polished gem.
So you like my map, barbarian? Better than yours.
Damn right, it's better than yours.
Are we flexing over cartography? His maps bring all the boys to the yard. This is where he points out, though, I captured the entire world. I have armies in every land. I've beaten every village except for this one forest.
And with the help of your map, your precious forest is next to fall.
This would make a lot more sense if we hadn't seen her map and known it was crap. Her map is literally just, there are trees. So he craps on her gods, the gods are in this book, and then realizes she's seen the book before. She has flashbacks to her people reading from the book, despite the fact they lived in fields and huts. This really is a movie just off, modernity's crap, we should live in forests. Actually, now I say it out loud, it's kind of based. I wouldn't go that far, but we can get rid of all the modern ideas. He gets distracted though when his cyclops arrives. Send her back to the pit, the cyclops is here. I tell you, crazy eyes. It's always the eyes. She wakes up in the pit with horsemen attacking all of her friends. I especially like this woman striking with her tiny little sword, despite seeing how far the horse away is from her. I'm not surprised you missed there, love. And look how far his axe is away from the guy. Even the horseman is swinging. No one in this picture stands a chance of hitting the other one. But after throwing a couple of weapons, including this javelin... Yeah, I don't think you know how physics works. This is like shooting a person and they fly across the room. That's not what happened. But Sonia sees them. She's like, I want to fight. I want to fight. You can't fight. I have orders from the Emperor not to let you fight.
You do realise your entire job is to die exceptionally.
No, her entire job is to look as hot as possible for the entire movie. That's what Red Sonja is, you stupid bid.
Why would I arm a pig if all I want is bacon?
Well, now we find out why he put her in that skimpy outfit. Obviously, though, she could square up. I'm gonna pull you down because I could beat the crap out of you. You've got dangly bits. And she wins him over because she's like, say, look, I want the good weapons. And he's like, well, actually.
Why would you possibly be smiling now?
Because you're the only one that's ever remembered my name.
And it's not as if you're intimidating, love. Why could you possibly be smiling? Aren't you threatened? No! So out then walks Sonia, and this is her supposed hero moment. Sorry, I had to get the proper camera angle in frame. She's got a new skirt, folks. She still kept the same top because it's not showing anything anyway. Like, seriously, what's the point of any of it? But it is funny then before she was like, well, actually, this doesn't protect anything, but I want that. Because that doesn't protect anything either. What does surprise me is there's no commentary about how it distracts the men and that's how she wins in fights. Because you see, that would imply that she actually was a lesser fighter that needed to subversively manipulate men in order to win. Can't have that. At that moment, though, two horsemen ride out, and just as she's getting ready to fight them, the king takes him out. He's like, but I wanted to kill people. I tell you what, she strangles one bunny rabbit and just becomes bloodthirsty.
I am here to fight!
See? She doesn't have to fight. What it should have been is, I'm here to protect my friends. It doesn't matter how the people trying to kill your friends die. It doesn't matter whether it's by your sword or the Emperor's taking out his own people. What should have happened at this moment is she goes to fight everybody and he has to take out all his own men, so she's guarding her friends by throwing herself into the line of battle. We don't do that because that would imply that she couldn't kill them all on her own. That would be the Emperor taking away her agency. This is one of the reasons why not putting gender roles in movies is so horrific. You take away the good plot and have to just, she's super powerful.
Is it not what you want?
Are you not entertained? So he says, I want you to tell me where all your people are, and until that happens, I'm going to kill all of your friends. With that, they get all the dregs out and launch them into the middle as well. And then, almost as if James Gunn made this, he gets out his... he gets his particularly suspiciously shaped item. Look, it's got a glowing end. That's impressive. It's just how he was like, oh, look at this then. Ding! As the ground shakes, a hole in the floor opens, and up comes a cyclops. I seriously think they missed a trick by not having her use her essential immortality, because he can't let her die, to run around saving all of her friends. Instead, they just cut all of that point out for that story and be like, well, I just wanted a cyclops in the movie, to be honest, with a mind control disc on his neck.
See what this excellent beast can...
He's like, wee. I don't even know if that's deliberate, but it is kind of suspiciously placed. Like, look, it's massive. Now, as you can see, there's a bit of a height difference, but as we've learned from Red Sonja, height and muscle mass don't actually equate to fighting skill. So by their own logic, any one of these people should just be able to annihilate him. So he starts knocking people off the side. Our big bloke takes a fall, and when two-sworded guy tries to run at him, he goes flying off the edge as well. Red Sonja, though, she's like, hang on, I'm gonna activate detective mode, except because this is powered by my tubes, Barbie investigative mode. I'm surprised we didn't get a grid overlaying a perspective in pink. She's like, hang on, there's a disc on his neck, and he's gurning with his suspicious glowing tube. So she pulls out her daggers. I don't know why he's growling at a bloke rather than just eating him. Okay. That's quite the leap, actually, isn't it, really? Remember, she doesn't have superpowers. She should have superpowers, but then we would have actually added in her comic book motivation. After that, it's basic Legolas stuff. She just climbs up his back with the daggers, grabs onto his mind control. No! And pulls. With that, he becomes a normal Cyclops. And is like, hey,
Stop! You are free!
Oh, even Rings of Power was better with this, where she just killed the thing. And this is, no, you don't have to be mean. You can be kind. Well, I say kind. She's like, I am not your enemy. They're your enemy. Wait, what? Who? Smash! I just want to point out something. Listen to the audio when he connects with the building. That's bowling audio. That's the audio that they put in movies for a strike. You might as well have added the Wilhelm scream, to be honest. So he just starts annihilating everything, smashing them with his fists, destroying the entire pavilion with all the people on it. They're going absolutely mental. Even just smashing his face into the ground for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I didn't change this. That was the cut. Look. I'm sorry. Where did he go? Where did he come from? So suddenly, we're just at the end of the destruction. Baboon Face appears. The king is also fine. And all the people that are out there, they haven't taken advantage of it. They didn't rush in after he started smashing things to make sure they killed the king. No, they're just all standing where they were previously. I'm just like, we need to get out of here, my king. And I'm thinking, where's the Cyclops? He's the guy that caused all of this mess. Where did he go? Did he get airlifted out by helicopter or something? So they start reuniting.
Where's Osen?
I don't care about Elsie. Where's the pissing Cyclops?
He went over.
That makes sense, because if it's a choice between going down with you or over a cliff, cliff is his only option, really. It's okay, though, by the magic of television. Somehow he climbed back up the cliff he fell down.
Doesn't count! Still untouched?
Well, that's a shame, because otherwise he'd have to shag a Cyclops.
So what now, Sonia?
The Cyclops opened the way. Go!
I'm sorry? She's like, look, this is the escape route. And I'm thinking, yeah, but that's a tunnel clearly made for you. Look, I could see the roof. There is no way a Cyclops escaped through that tiny little hole. And I don't mean her, gaping chasm. Like, it's just cavernous. But that is what you're supposed to think. You're supposed to think that the Cyclops made this tiny little hole and crawled through it, and that's how they escape.
I'll meet you by the White Chapel on the hill at dawn. But first,
I need to ADR all of these lines, which is why you can only see the back of my face.
there's something I have to do.
She needs to hunt down the king. Judging by how long this has gone, that's gonna have to be part 2, where we find out Sonia hunting down the king and taking vengeance on him, his people, and his fortress. Will there be vanishing Cyclopses? Will the king finally get touched by a sword? And will Sonia girl boss too close to the sun and actually get her comeuppance? I'm having a feeling, judging by this picture of just girl bossing too close to the sun, answer's gotta be no. For now, that's it from me. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow. Bye-bye.